Well, hello, everybody. I'm Julia Royston, BK Royston Publishing, Royal Media and Publishing, and the author community, the book business bosses, helping you get your message to the masses, turn your words into wealth. And of course, I'm always excited to come before my Live Your Best Life a broadcast to bring you some inspiration, empowerment. I'm still the message motivator, motivating you to be all that you can be and helping you get your message to the masses. So, super excited to be on today. And so, God gave me three things. So, I'm just going to give it to you like He gave it to me. Feel free to share this broadcast. Be sure to let others know that I'm on. Julia Royston's on to empower you. Yep, I'm having a November to remember, and I know that you all are too as well. And super excited what God has in store for us on many fronts. But let's start with your house. So the first thing that he wanted me to talk about today, three things he wanted me to talk about today. And as long as he keeps giving it to me, I'm gonna keep giving it to you. Now I've been teased and said, "Oh, look, and Julia Royston's even got a word." Well, all right, I'm gonna do what he says because at the end of the day, I want to stand before him empty and say, "I did what you said do. I didn't care who made fun of me, who teased me about it. I did my thing." My biological father, Dr. Jack Forey used to tell me, he said, "I see you up there doing your thing." So I know that he is in spirit with me. Every time I see the mirror, I look at him. And so here we go. So I'm doing my thing. Good morning, everybody. Leave your comments. Please share the video, share the broadcast that I hope and pray that will inspire someone else to be all that they can be. And to live their best life. So the first thing is steps. Now, some of the steps may not be so divine. We were talking about divine moves and turns and everything last week. But the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. That's what Psalms 37 says. But some of the steps have been ordered already, and they've been, as they say, paid for, bought and paid for by Jesus Christ on the cross. Some of them steps y'all don't want to take. And so some of the things are holding you back because you don't want to move forward. You don't want to take that step. And I understand that. Some steps are almost leaps because they're not just lessons and ladders. That smallest step in a different direction can completely transform your life. So those steps are scary, and you don't know what's on the other side of that step as you take that one step, because that step that you're taking forward may be away from something that you love, respect, and more than anything else, it may not even be a person. It may be your own comfort zone. And I'm finding more and more that as I continue to move forward with helping people tell their stories, it's the biggest battle is not necessarily, oh, my haters did, and that man did that, and that man did that. No, it wasn't that man. It was the man in the mirror that was struggling with the steps that needed to be taken. Oftentimes, it's not someone else holding you back. It's the enemy. It's the enemy, and might be in a you. So the steps of a good man are ordered, and he delighteth in his way. And it's a wonderful thing, but that doesn't mean that doesn't come with fear, without trepidation, without hesitancy. And oh my gosh, thy word is the lamp unto my feet and the light into my pathway. So sometimes you just need to go on the word. You need to stand on it and walk in it. For we walk by faith and not by sight. So therefore, some things we're not going to see our way. Have you ever been in fog? I have. And living in southern Indiana and the Ohio River, and especially this time of year, if I'm out early and the sun has not come out, that's a word for somebody. If the sun has not come out, sometimes we're driving in fog, dense fog that we cannot see. It's the cold air and the water and the humidity and the moisture creates a fog. So therefore, sometimes you just can't see your way, but you can't stop because you don't know if somebody's behind you. And then sometimes you can't get over, and even if you get over, getting back in the lane is difficult. So sometimes you just got to keep going. Follow that white line in the middle, follow that white line on the right, and keep going. Keep going straight ahead. Stay in the speed limit, keep your lights on, and do all that you can. Keep your eyes on the road. Don't be distracted by anything. Don't look down at your phone. Don't turn the radio on or satellite, whatever you got, because you got to keep moving. So it's the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. You got to keep going. If he gives you the order, if he gives you the directive, he's going to give you the provision. So, it's a faith walk. I wish I could say, oh, it's easy. Oh, it's fun. You can do it. Yeah. Yeah, you can do it. Yeah. But I just encourage you to do it, because on the other end, after the fear, after the hesitancy, after the debate, after sometimes sleepless nights and asking advice, because in the multitude of counsel, there's safety. So sometimes you have to ask people you trust, ask people for advice. And after you do that, it's lifted to you, boo. It's still on you. Okay. So, steps. So what steps haven't you taken yet? It's almost it's getting close to the end of the year. What steps haven't you done? What haven't you moved forward? Who haven't you emailed? Who haven't you called? What research haven't you done to even find out how much it costs and how much that is? And what are the steps for that? And what is the procedure? Even if you're not ready to do it before the year ends, what is that something to do in 2021? I've been encouraging you since I've been going live that don't come out of this pandemic without nothing. Even if you know what you're not supposed to do, at least that's something. That's a direction that you're not supposed to take. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Thank you so much, Ms. Elizabeth Cannon. Thank you. And Dr. Vernette Nettles. Good morning. So what step haven't you taken yet? All right. I encourage you to do it. Praying for you as you do it. Okay. So steps. Sometimes it's a major, a minor, small step in the right direction. Number 2, turns. Now, if anybody knows me really well, I don't like getting lost. Thank God for GPS. Whoever invented GPS, and I can just do a quick search and figure that out, I thank you. And I thank you. And I thank you. I never like getting lost. I always met new people along the way, because when I would travel, I would have a sense of direction. Even if I didn't know which way I was going, I would always have a sense of direction. Not to be stereotypical in any kind of way, but when we would travel to churches, I'll never forget, my cousin and I, Nikki, was headed to a church, and they gave us an address, but they didn't really tell us how to get there. But I said, okay, it's a Black Apostolic Church. It's got to be near the Black neighborhood, and it's got to be near the railroad track. And that was the only 2 things I knew, the name and the address. And I was headed to the Black neighborhood, and I was headed to the railroad tracks. And when I got there was a little boy riding on a bicycle. We said, sweetie, we looking for such and such. He said, you're 2 blocks away. So I don't like getting lost. So that's just to say I don't like getting lost. So even I have a really keen sense of direction, and I don't like getting turned around. And when something doesn't look right, I will quickly stop and ask for directions, because I don't have a problem thinking I know when I don't know, and if I'm lost and it's not agreeing with whatever. So thankful for GPS. So turns. Some people and some situations, we have to make a sharp turn. We've seen the pivot word has been used throughout the pandemic and throughout 2020. We got to pivot. Pivot where? Pivot from what? Pivot to what? And sometimes that pivot is a turn you have to take in your mind, take a turn in your business, take a turn in your life. I have gotten rid of so many things because I've taken turns. I was like, okay, we got to turn from this. We got to turn into this, and realize that in a pandemic, in a struggle, in a storm, you have to turn real fast. But Second Chronicles is the biggest famous turn in scripture. If my people who are called by my name would humble themselves and pray and turn from their wicked ways, then and seek my face, then will I heal the land. And then, so sometimes we have to make major turns, and sometimes we have to turn away from something and return back to what we know. So there's some major turns in your life, and this is an individual affair. I have to do my own turning. I have to take my own steps, and you do too. So, I'm not pointing to you to do something that is not pointing to me, because I have to be the first partaker. And believe you me, he's had me make a lot of turns. Nope, you got to turn from that. Nope, you got to do differently than that. Nope, you got to straighten that out. As y'all can tell, I don't have my screen up today, because I thank God for Purpose to Connect, and Nikki Calhoun came and helped me get my office together so that I could take my screen down and rearrange that, because I had to make some turns. I had to make some shifts. I had to get some organization. I had to get organized in my life. I had to get, it just had to happen. So they're making some turns, major turns. So sometimes it's requiring that you take a step. Sometimes you have to take turns or return, like return clothes that don't fit, return from situations that don't fit and things that don't fit and clothes that don't fit. You take back to the department store. Sometimes you have to make some turns. And then finally, the third thing is there's some doors that have been opened. Now, we love the automatic door when we go to the store and we step on that, the little pad beforehand that automatically, those automatic doors that are open. And I love that, especially if my arms are full. I don't want to push no door. I don't want to pull no door. I don't want to force no door open. But I love the automatic doors. I step on it, boom, it opens for me. And that's where some of us are standing at doors that are open. Well, we either don't want to walk in, are not ready to walk in, or just don't like that door, like that old game show, door number 1, door number 2, number 3. And God has set before you, Revelations 3:8 said, I've set before you an open door that no man can shut. So some of you, there are doors open, but you like, no, I want my way. So you turn back or you turn around because you're not willing to walk into the door God has for you. But Paul said, pray, because we got a struggle on our hands and we need a door to be open so that we can get this gospel preached and this gospel moved. And in my life, I'm always looking for it. God, open up a door for opportunity, for a connection, or a new direction and something to solve this problem. I say the same thing to you. There are some doors open. You need to get your grip, get your purse, get all your stuff, and walk through that door, the doors that God has opened. He said, I'll open doors that no man can shut. I shut them and nobody can open. So God has some doors that are open to opportunity, but they require sometimes steps for preparation and turning from your own comfort zone. He's open doors. Now, how long that door is going to open? When you step off that little square pad and the door closes because it doesn't think nobody's there. And when you go through that door, it closes behind you unless somebody else has stepped on that automatic door opener system. Whatever that system is, it's wonderful. But if you step off of it or come away from it or move away from that door closes. And so we don't know when that door is going to close. Some opportunities are for now and for this season. And then after that, that door is going to close. We don't know what's going to happen now. We have an idea of the election, whatever, results, whatever. We don't have a clue what 2021 is going to bring. So while this door of opportunity, while we're working from home, who knows? They may say you all have to come back into the building and not be able to work from home. Everything may return to semi, whatever that normal looks like, but it could return and you not have that benefits of being dressed from the waist up and just turning on the computer and boom, and still getting that check every 2 weeks without having to ever leave your house except for groceries and medicine and emergencies. It may be different. So while this window of opportunity has been given, while this door has been given, Are you going to walk in it? Are you going to maximize it? Are you going to utilize the time wisely? Like me, who had to clean up my office and get it organized so that I could know what I had and figure out what I was doing otherwise besides what I do out front. There's some changes that hopefully have been made. So there's some steps you have to take. There's some turns you have to make. There's some doors you have to walk through. You can't get to that next until you walk through that door. I hope this blesses somebody. I hope this helps somebody. I hope somebody, or at least, hello, Miss Alita, long time no hear from. You're right. Or just feeling stuck, because you could be stuck in that place a long time. That door could close, and that door could be closed on you, and then boom, you could be years before that door comes around again, that opportunity comes around, that scene comes around. Good morning, everybody. But that comes back around, and it may not happen. It may not. This might be a once in a lifetime opportunity to actually be off 7 or 8 months from having to go into a building. There's a window, there's a door, there's an opportunity, and you want to take advantage of it as much as possible. I've done it. I've had to do some switches and changes and things differently in my business because I've been given an opportunity. I have been given a possibility. So I said, oh, I better take advantage of it now and get things in order, because I don't know what's coming next. I have to get things in while this person is available. Well, I don't know where the person's going to go next. While they're available, I have to say, and they're available to me, I have to take opportunity, as they say, the bull by the horns, and take the opportunity and move forward. Otherwise, they may be out of my hands. And it's like clients that I have from, 5, 6, 7 years ago, they come back around and they're like, ooh, I'm so glad you're still publishing. And I say, thank you, but I'm different than I was 7, 8 years ago. You met me in that season. Now I'm in a different season. Okay, so let's see how we can work together in this season as opposed to that one 7 or 8 years ago. We've done differently. We think differently. We move differently. It's all kinds of different things that can happen. So number one, get the steps. And Martin used to say, get the stepping. So, so what steps do you need to take? And then 2, God said you might have to turn from some things. Turn from things you've been doing that's clearly not working. And then he set before us some open doors. And my door and your door may be totally different, but be sure and walk through it. Be sure and accept the opportunity. Because we used to sing an old song at my church, and the people who know me or been with my church, they said the heaven doors are going to be closed. If you want to get to heaven in due time, before the heaven doors close, the heaven doors are going to be closed. And there's going to, this dispensation, this time, this opportunity, the dispensation of grace will close. And the opportunity will eventually close. So make your calling and election sure. That was the altar call at the end. The same is with your business. The same is with your life. The same is with your family. Some people closed their eyes this season. And they went on to glory. They went on to heaven. They went on to sleep. And their work down here is done, because that time and that season of what their opportunity was on this earth is done, is finished. So while you have that door open, while you have that opportunity to make those turns, while, as the old folks used to say, while the blood is yet running warm in your veins, take the steps that you need so that you can live your best life. I hope that blesses you today. I hope that helps you today. I hope that encourages you to be all that you can be, and so that you can live your best life, live the life God intended for you to live. Not my life, not Big Mama's, not them people down the street, not the Joneses next door, but living your best life. So I'm super excited about even the things that are coming up in November. November 9th on Monday, November 9th, virtual book fair. Join us. We'll be here on StreamYard. We'll be on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope, going live with some phenomenal authors with some fantastic books that will bless you. Look forward to that. On November 16th is the Educational Summit Part 2. So just in case you have a child in school or you know somebody who's struggling with this NTI and non-traditional instruction and online instruction, and they say, my child needs a tutor, then join us on November 16th. We'll be in this same platform. And stay tuned and move forward at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me for Live Your Best Life on envision-radio.com. Be sure and jump over there and enjoy a phenomenal young man, Mr. Justin Campbell, who is a therapist, who is my guest today on Live Your Best Life on envision-radio.com. And then just keep your phone, your iPad, your tablet, your laptop, your computer just locked right there on envision-radio.com at 11 a.m. with Miss Cheryl Underwood and Spiritual Nourishment. And just in case you didn't know, she now has a church shout out line. So if you want to shout out your pastor and your church, go to 1-855-Cheryl-1. That's 855-743-7951 and shout out your church. Spiritual Nourishment is heard every Sunday morning on envision-radio.com. Stay tuned. You have to be listening because she's going to shout out your church and your pastor one of these Sunday mornings from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So go to 855-743-7951 for the church shout out line with Miss Cheryl Underwood and Spiritual Nourishment. I'm Julia Royston, super excited to always be with you on Sunday morning, praying that God's blessings be continued upon you. If you need to have a conversation with me, go to talkwithroyston.com and also find some materials that I have published. And today's special material is fresh bread. I don't know about you, but I love fresh bread. Somebody made me a whole pan of homemade rolls. Hallelujah. And but fresh bread is a 30-day devotional that I trust will bless you as you head on your journey. Go to JuliaRoystonStore.com and there's tons of materials over there to hopefully help you and bless you and motivate you as well. If you're ready to write your book, you know how to find me. TalkWithRoyston.com, and let's have a conversation. That calendar is Eastern Time Zone, and so if you're on a different time zone, make sure you, as they say in church, govern yourselves accordingly. I love each and every one of you. Pray God's blessings on you the entire week, the rest of the month, and the remainder of this year as we head into a new season in time, a new opportunity, new steps, new turns, and new doors, because God has set before us an open door and no man can shut it. And God has shut some. We cried about it. We might have complained about it, but no man can open. I serve an awesome God, and I trust you too. You all be blessed. I'm Julia Royston. Have a great day.